that again. Sophia! Shouldn't have taken her here. Shit. Where are you? Call out to me, please! Sophia! Sweetie, do not go outside! Damn it! Sophia! Sophia, baby, please. Please, baby, don't do this to me. Where are you? Sophia!
How many times will I kill her? I've asked myself that, but I had this sneaking suspicion that I never could have known anyway, that any pretense of free choice was merely an illusion. I could only accept the path that was laid down before me. Her drawing. The first of many. It had been too long since Sophia had been more than a whisper screaming in the back of my mind. But I could still recognize it. I admit, at that moment, hope started to flourish inside me. Where would the drawings lead me? Was my little sister alive in this world? Like my father before me, I had spent all my life studying weather phenomena. I thought I was different. I thought I was doing it to pay my debt to Sophia. I was wrong. But all that work couldn't have been for nothing. I was told my very first published study on the hazards of road fog was all sorts of helpful. I was rather proud of that one. And now, of course, to get to Sophia, I had to bend fog to my will. That'd be the first of many, too. Every decision creates ripples, countless unforeseen consequences. If we could see the inner workings of this infinity, We would mimic the deer that stands still to elude its predator. We wouldn't dare make a move. I couldn't see it, so I followed the path, and that kept me alive. But it did much more than that. Introspection can be far more scarring than any wound. Who's to blame for her death? The tsunami did what it did, no point in blaming God or fate. So I looked in the mirror as I had many times before, and reflected back on it. I saw guilt. My father shared some of the burden, but it was mine. My guilt. My fault. Had my own Sophia survived too, back home, or in this world? One had drowned, and the other, what are the odds of surviving the eye of the storm? There are few accounts. 1928, Greensburg, Kansas. A farmer saw the inside of a tornado. It was still as death, he said. Then it hissed. It actually screamed, and the hollowness was lit up by lightning. Was that the last thing my little girl had seen, I wondered? Death, screams, and God's thunder, the ire of the tornado. I couldn't know. Not yet. Trapped in that world, the only thing I knew was my sister had survived in there. Somehow. I just had to let myself be led by her drawings and her light. The Thalamus was waiting for me, although I wouldn't see it and with it any sense of hope until I had emerged from the darkness of the cave. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. The sand between my toes. I hadn't paid attention to the feeling before, and now I couldn't. I didn't feel my body at all. My alarming lack of a physical presence was too much of an existential threat to handle, so I didn't. Into the belly of the beast. Unlike Jonah's, mine was no big fish, but it was just as frightening, if not more so. Day and night, light and darkness. Convenient opposites to explain away complex realities. But can you blame them? Such powerful symbols. No wonder you'll find them in every story, every dogma. These sweet lies are easier to swallow, easier to live by rather than admitting that life is rarely so simple. All of this sounds pretty cheesy or lame, I'm sure. And it is. But honest truths tend to sound like that. We are so unfamiliar with them. In that coma, in that cave, in the dark, it was the only thing of consequence. Light and darkness are absolutes. Absolutes are easy, and easy is boring, but mix them up and you will find my fascination follows suit. It is at night that we value the sun, the light in the dark. That's what holds my attention, and that's what I yearn for in the cavern. But my hunger was not sated. Not yet. I starved for light. Whole world, but for now I was safe, for the most part. I was about to see the light again, but it was more than that. At long last, I would see the Thalamus, the sacred tree, the root and end of it all. From the moment I saw it, I knew there was something intangible about it. But I also knew it was my destination. That's where I would find her. That's where I would be forgiven. A long and difficult journey separated me from Sophia, but I was ever closer to the Thalamus. It never pours, but it floods. The rainstorm clouded the tree and sank my spirits. I had yet to realize it had not come into being to hinder me, but to help me bridge the difficulties that awaited me at the bottom of the valley.